take a look at Google Docs again in this YouTube series, having some common needs to do in an instructional situation in your classroom. So, Google Docs, we're going to look at how to use Google Docs to give feedback with inserted comments. Inserting a comment is easy enough in several different ways. You can select what you want and then insert comment. Right? And now the person who has this also is seeing that this information is tied to this set of text. I think of it as like little digital post-it notes. So here's what I intend to do with these comments. I'm going to write 3 ideas of what I do with these inserted comments to give feedback with my students or to my students. So I'm using the tactic or the ability in Google Docs to select text, insert a comment, or to select text, add a comment, or to select text and go to comment here. All right. So 3 different ways to do the exact same thing. So I select text, insert a comment, and what I'm after here, I'm going to do one of 3 things. I'm going to give a compliment. I am going to give a command, or I'm going to write a question. What I'm doing here, my example of a compliment is right up here. Thanks for having a title, or this is a great beginning. I love this word. Thanks for using a word from the class vocabulary list. This is such a fun sentence. Just something nice. Not necessarily great feedback yet. The part and process for using compliments is getting the process started. So feedback was intended to improve the work we're doing. So you can see here this inserted comment that's up here has given this box, this little digital post-it note, one might think, and the student would see here. Now, I'm going to flip to the student view. You won't see me in that student view. But when I write back, you'll see that the student wrote thanks. All right. So the idea being there's something nice, and then when I give a compliment, I expect a reply from the student. Now, this is building up the idea that the simple idea of inserting a comment and then my students looking at those comments and my students actually thinking about it. The first part is just thinking that, yes, I should look for these comments. Now, the second part, if there's a command, such as do it now, or a question, there should be an answer. So, the first part, compliment, I expect that my students reply with a thanks. Command, I expect that they reply with a got it or okay, and then it's been done. And a question, I expect that they reply with an answer to my question and possibly changes in their writing. So again, inserting comments with these 3 functions here, compliments, commands, questions, with the anticipation of I expect a reply. All right. So the first part is just getting that process started and starting small. When I taught elementary school at the intermediate grades, I started with just compliments. Then the next time I looked at it, I started with a compliment and a command. And then I added several commands. And then I added a few compliments, a few commands, and one occasional question. I built up their feedback stamina, one might think. All right. So the process in a Google Doc, I didn't cover the idea of sharing it. I didn't cover the idea of using Google Classroom, but with the idea that you are seeing the information, you can now give feedback to your students with inserted suggestions here in the comments.